All right, so here's a really interesting case about net neutrality, and which is going to be super nuanced here. It's going to be really interesting. First of all, I want to say that GPI sucks. I hate him so much. He is a horrible human being. He is the human embodiment of garbage. So, yeah, just horrible, horrible person. If reincarnation is real, he's going to be reincarnated as a mouse or whatever the hell is worse than a mouse. So California was one of the states. I don't know if it was the first state to have their net neutrality, strong net neutrality laws to go into place. I believe they were the strongest. And they passed it, and immediately, that I believe the same day or the same night that day, I remember the DOJ had basically decided to prosecute a case against them. And so that went to court. Now it turns out that California is going to have a temporary halt on this. Now here's what the Hill says. They say California has agreed to temporarily halt enforcement of its expansive new net neutrality law as part of an agreement reached with the Department of Justice on Friday. The DOJ and California reached an agreement to postpone their court battle over the state's law, while the federal appeals court decides the fate of the 2015 repeal of federal net neutrality rules. Under the agreement, detailed in filings with the federal court in California, the state won't take any action to enforce its law that was passed late last month while the Federal Communications Commission repeal is being litigated. Ajit Pai gave a statement, and so here's what's going on. So this is the reason why I say it's so interesting. So what's going on basically is, I guess there are already lawsuits against the federal government for the repeal of the federal net neutrality rules, and so there are already lawsuits going on as of right now. And so the DOJ and the California government came to an agreement to just have a complete halt. California agreed to completely halt their net neutrality laws, and the DOJ will halt the case. So they're going to postpone that while the other case is litigated. Now here's the interesting thing, okay? I hate Ajit Pai. I hate the current FCC chairman, but I think that there is no chance that California wins this court case. There's no way that they're going to win this court case. Now, the federal government has the enumerated power of regulating commerce, so that is definitely going to be considered commerce. Now, because it has the enumerated power of federal commerce, it's going to give that the supremacy. Easily, it's going to do that. It's easily going to do that. It's Congress. Congress has that specific power, and so that's obviously been given to the FCC. And so what you're looking at is very obviously going to happen is that they're going to lose the court case, because the power does lie within the federal government to do so. So what you're looking at here is there's no chance for California. And it makes sense because when you think about it, I mean, the enumerated power of, interstate commerce, of regulating interstate commerce, it makes sense. I understand it. And so the answer here is not to go, okay, well, we're going to fight this and make it so that California and other states can make their own, net neutrality laws. That's not the answer. The answer is to get a new election and then having a new chairman for the FCC, and then re-add the actual regulations. Because if this case were to go through, it would become massively problematic, because then what you're talking about is all the bumfuck red states are going to start making their own. They're going to roll back the regulations. So it's a bad idea. It's a bad hole to go into, because then you're talking about getting into this hole where all these states are trying to do their own laws. No, we have to go to the federal level and actually change this. So while I agree with the California law, I think that the court case is going to side with the federal government for obvious reasons of interstate commerce regulation, And so they have no chance. Let's keep it real. And I don't want California to win, because if California wins, and when we do replace the regulations, when we have a Democratic government, you know what's going to happen, right? All the bumfuck right-wing states are going to repeal them. They're going to have their own net neutrality laws that pull them back. So that's not good. We don't want that.